good again? Welcome back for another video. Welcome to today's tutorial, man. So today I'm gonna be showing you how to make beats for the one and only Killy Russ Millions. And bro, let's get ready to the project. Make sure that you tune in with the community and follow me on Instagram at Steppers, bro. Hey, let's get ready to the project. Bye. So 90% of the times when you want to make a beat for Russ Millions, you want to start with the ethnic Middle Eastern influenced melody. So I started to find some sounds on YouTube and I'm gonna show you what I used. You see the vocal right there, that is the thing that actually caught my attention. After that, I went straight into FL and I started to chop the melody. In case you don't know how to chop melodies, I'm gonna link right here a video where I showed you guys how to chop melodies, so make sure that you check it out. So I then went into the piano roll and I started to write down the melody. As you can see here, these are all the notes that compose the final sample. As you can see here, there are these three notes. These ones here on the bottom, they are just strings. It was more to add a little bit of background to the actual sample because the sample itself is this. And there's also this other one. Overall, this is the sample. I'm not gonna show you the mixing process of the melody. So I started with the Valhalla vintage verb to give it a bit of the reverb, and I put the mixing at 11.2%. I then added the fruity chorus and then EQ on the low end, and there's another EQ on the low end and the mid-high range frequencies, and also a boost on the high-end frequencies. And then as last, there's the Galfos and a boost on the tame by 43%. I then rendered out the melody and added a sub bass. As you can see here, it is at A sharp. I used the Xpan 2 and the preset is the Big Cell Strings. And all together with the melody, it goes like this. So once I got to this point, I rendered out the whole melody and I also pitched it up by 2 semitones and did a little bit of further mixing. So I started with the RC20 and I took out the noise and increased a little bit of distortion and give it a little bit of space. I then added again the Galfos and I increased the tame by 25%. I also used the Ozone Imager and I reduced the band number 1 by 36.7. I left the band number 2 where it was. I increased the band number 3 by 19 and increased the band number 4 by 48.1. And I also used the compressor by 5 filter and I increased the threshold by 15.17 and I increased the wet gain by 5.37 decibels. So yeah guys, this is the melody and now we're gonna hop on a beat. Bow. So I started with these counter snares. As you can see here, there are 4 different counter snares, but I'm gonna show you each one of them. So the first one is this one. Then there's the second one. Third one. And then there's the last one. The secret of the bounce behind it is just to try to layer down a lot of different counter snares, and trust me that you're gonna get this kind of bounce. You know, make sure that you play around a lot with the piano roll and type of stuff. I'm gonna show you the mixing process. So all the counter snares have been driven to the same mixer channel, so it is the same for everyone. So I started with the delay, and as you can see here, it's just a very tiny one. It is just 12% of it. And then there's the pancake, and even here it's just at 20% of it. And there's the reverb as well, even here very little, 12%. And there's also a little bit of EQing on the low end and high end, and as you can see here, there is a further EQing like this. This is actually the same preset I use every time for the counter snare section. And then second thing, there's the snare. For the mixing of the snare, we have the camel crusher at 58%, and then there's a cut on the high end and low end of the frequencies, and a tiny bit of reverb. Make sure you use the camel crusher on your snare because it actually helps it out to smash even harder. At least my beats, I like it to really stand out among the other sounds. So now we have the kick, and this kick comes from a drum kit. It's the Subway one. There's no mixing at all, as you can see here. It's whole blank. And then I started to add some perks before adding the 808. As you can see, it's just this one here. Even here, no mixing at all. And then there's another perk, the Error 505. At this point I started to work on the 808, and this 808 here is not out anywhere because I'm working on my next drum kit, and you guys gotta be ready for the drop of it. So yeah, this is the 808. Super sick. As you can see here, there are no slides because if you notice, Russ Million songs, they don't have many slides. Sometimes they don't really have slides. It's just about the kick going straight like to the root note. As for rondo, like I said, for rondo's tutorial, it's pretty much the same thing. The kick got a hard like properly with the 808, and make sure that the 808 is on key and it hits hard. So I'm gonna show you the mixing process of the 808. There's the EQ here on the 20 Hz of the 808, and then there's a little bit of EQing here at around 17K. Then there's the stereo enhancer, there's the maximum, low end, mid end, high end, and master, the compressor, and last thing, the limiter for the sidechain. Yeah, so hard. Next element, there's this snuff. We have the delay, and then cut on the high end and low end. So at this point here, I added these other two perks here, and this other one. So yeah, as you can see, there's also this other effect. There's the shot, you know, classic drill type of shot. The intro is so simple. Here there's an automation on the low end. You know, the classic thing that I keep telling you guys to do, make sure that you do it because it's so important, it makes a difference. So an EQ on the low end, you start from basically 0 Hz, and then you get to where you will cut the low end of the melody, as you can see here, you know. And then when it gets here, as you can see, it moves and it gets to where you want the low end of the melody to stay at. But yeah guys, make sure that you leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you learned anything out of this tutorial. And bro, see you till next time. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram at Steppers. Bow.
Steppers on the tape.